Okay, so I'm tired as fuck. It's 10:30, okay, 10 PM. Feeling a bit tired, feeling a bit shitty and drained today, but I've been reading this book all fucking day, okay, and that's no joke. And I feel like making a video on sales or teaching you guys how to actually approach the sales with your clients and what actually to ask. So there's a lot of questions which you need to go through and in the qualifying stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some questions which you can ask your potential clients during the sales meetings, which will qualify them, tell you everything you need to know about this client and how the best way to sort of push the sale forward to the close. Okay, so let's go. How's that, man? Ignore my food. Yeah, anyway. So, fuck, I need a pen. What's that? It's green? Nah, fuck green. Who even uses a white pen? What is that? Oh, it's yellow. Fuck. The yellow? No, that is white. That is literally white. How is that? Fucking. I want to talk you through what questions you're gonna ask your clients in these meetings. Okay, so the whole point of these questions, and I'm teaching you Jordan Belfort style, okay? So you have this line, if my pen works, which it doesn't, just so I'm probably plagiarizing loads of Belfort's work, but this essentially is the sale. So you're going to start there when you first say, hello, my name is this. Then at the end, when you actually close the deal, get the money back, this is the end of the sale. So along this line, loads of wonderful fucking things can happen. And this is your chance to actually make some money. So what Belfort basically says is that every single sale is the same. There's an open and there's a close and everything in between. Yes, people's beliefs are different. Yes, there's going to be different scenarios. But essentially, the sale always opens and closes when money is made. So, you're going to push the client along this line to the close. And this, pretty much around here, so this little block here, is going to be called, as you probably know it, the qualifying stage. The qualifying stage, or it's also known in his book as the moment you gather massive intelligence. So this, my good friends, is the place you're going to ask all these wonderful questions to push the client along the line in your SMA meetings. The questions you're going to ask your client are going to be in a logical form. So again, I'm going to start with a big question mark, because I like question mark. They're all going to be logical. So they're going to flow. You're not going to jump in and go, hello, Mr. Restaurant Owner, how much are you making a year? Because they will scrap you, they will probably slap you in the face or spit in your face. So you want to avoid asking really strange questions and usually open with a open sort of ballpark, a very general question, okay? And before I go into this, whenever you actually go to start the qualifying stage, you always ask permission. I can't be asked permission. You always ask permission to ask questions. It's as simple as that. So I will literally go, say for example, I'm meeting with a client called John. I'll go, oh, okay John, so right to start, I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions if that's okay. And then every single time he will always say yes, as long as you didn't piss on the floor or shit your pants when you sat down in the seat. You'll be absolutely fine. So as I said, hey John, just to start the meeting off, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions just so I can serve you in the best way, or just so I can figure out exactly what your needs are. So you need to ask those phrases. So once you've asked permission, which is absolutely golden as it allows you to take over the control of the sale, and also it means you don't look like a dick. So you don't look like a dick. Happy days. Right. Okay. Excuse me, I'm eating. So what questions should you actually ask? When I initially start this process of prospecting them, I always start with a general... One second. A general question or general picture gives me an idea where they want to go. So this can mean me asking or going... Let me finish my food first, 2 seconds. Okay, so the reason why you ask a general question is to, one, give you a good picture of how everything is in the business. So you can ask him, okay, so hey John, can you give me some background to where you currently are? And essentially where you want to take the business and go with the business. So everything you ask him should be based around background to initially start. This helps you build some sort of rapport with him. And or her, could be her. I'm being extremely sexist right now and assuming that a restaurant owner is always a male. I apologise to any female watchers. But ask a general question about the background of the business. Gives you an idea, gives you a good picture. La-di-da-di-da, so picture. Gives you a good picture. I like that. Then, once you've got a general idea of where they currently are, and you'll find is, once you ask these questions, they'll string into other questions. Excuse that. So you want to go from a general sense down to a specific sense. So you can think of it as a sales funnel if you want, for all you marketing boffins who are watching. So you start with a general, then you become more specific and more narrow towards the end goal and the stuff that you really give a fuck about. So if you start with a general, and then you slowly become more specific, I'm going to put it like there. Specific. Good spelling, boy. Specific background. Then I'm going to ask them, once you've been talking for a few minutes, if that, then I say, okay, great, so what are you currently doing to bring clients in? Or bring customers in? That's what the usual question I ask. So what are you currently doing to bring customers in, John? Then he'll tell you, oh, we do this, we give off flyers. The answer will usually be general. And then you say, great, okay. So how much are you spending on advertising this month? Then they'll give you a general idea of, say, hey, oh, we spend this much on magazines per month. We spend this much on this much and this much. Then they just keep rallying on and they'll give you a good idea. Sometimes they say they spend absolutely nothing, which can be very good for you in this scenario, as they probably know that they need to spend money. And you've pretty much opened them, and as long as you pitch them correctly, you're like, well, here's your perfect scenario. Pretty much, you can spend money on me and I'll get you clients, da 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 da. Because they have absolutely no idea where to advertise. Okay, so once you've asked them about adverts, and you sort of have a general idea, essentially what I'm saying here, you don't actually have to ask that much questions. You need to just get enough. As such, you need to just get enough information so it gives you a good idea where they currently are, where they need to go, and where's the money being shuffling back and forth. So if they say adverts, then you can say, so how much? What's your budget? That's usually a good one as well. Budget. So they'll tell you, oh, we're spending £400 a month on magazine ads. Oh, great, so how is that coming about? How's the, how many clients you're actually getting from this? They'll usually say, oh, we don't know, because magazines you can't track. Simple as that. You can see how many people are seeing them, but you can't track it like you can on Facebook. So again, this is another sort of bullet in your little social media gun that you can eventually fire in the sales pitch. Yeah, another one before I actually forget is the marketing side. So you can ask them, have they tried marketing before? If so, how did it go? And have they tried any other agencies? So have they used any other agencies, social media marketing agencies, beside yours? And if so, it's usually a very good thing because it shows that they've been fired because they were shit. And we've actually had it with a few clients where they've come to us and said, maybe a few weeks in, they've gone, well, we actually had a social media marketing team before you, and to be fair, they did a shit job. And honestly, when you hear that, it's so good. So again, it all comes back to learning the process, doing the best service you can, and I promise you it pays off. But as such of questions, that's pretty much about where I go with them. In the meeting, you will have, or you will sort of lead into some other questions as well, which sort of just happens by nature. But always remember, going back to that line, so when you're asking these questions, okay, he makes a boundary on the sales process. So again, open, close the sale, and in between you're going to be asking questions to move the sale forward, and then you pitch at the end, yeah? And then you do looping and all these other things he teaches in the wonderful book. But in his original sketch, he put Pluto at the top, and I think he spelled it like your anus. It was like, oh, that's funny. Your anus. And these boundaries mean, once you sort of stray off that boundary, you pretty much lose where the sale is going, and the sale stops moving across that line. So the whole process of you selling somebody should try and keep them as close to this line as possible. They also say as well that in between this boundary is rapport. This is where rapport happens. So this is when you actually get into a really good flow state with a client, and you end up sort of getting to where you need to go. But you should always try and bring them back to the line through answering or asking relevant questions up until the sales pitch. And when you eventually pitch, this is the time where you bang bang with your little social media gun, which you would have prepared beforehand. And I'll eventually move into this in the following videos, which I actually film. But for now, I hope that makes some form of sense. And again, there's pretty much all the questions that I ask. Starting general, becoming more specific. And again, the golden rule is be human, and they're people too. They shit at the same hole. They take, you know, like, I could go on with this, but you get my gist. Don't big them up to be some extraordinary business people. They're exactly the same as you. Treat them like humans. There's nothing different in it. And if you answer these questions, if you ask these questions, actively listen to the answers and be generally interested in what they say. I also recommend taking notes while you do this. This will really give you the arsenal you need to then move forward into the pitch and eventually close your clients. So hopefully that helps a little bit. And if you need some more advice or some more help on this, I'm more than happy to help you out with that. So give me a message. Great stuff. Thank you.